Hello and welcome to the Real Life Show, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jonathan, and remember, this is a platform where we get to engage, interact, and talk to icons, gurus, moguls, the best at what they do, innovators, people that are inspiring lives, changing and transforming lives out there. And today I'm so excited because I have one of the legends in Zambia. He's a businessman, he's a speaker, he's a mentor, he's a life coach. He's also into marriage counseling. I don't know what to call it. He's also a brand strategist and an entrepreneur. Ladies and gentlemen, he's been around for decades now, I must say. This is no other than the brilliant, steady Divine. Mr. Steady, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. It's exciting to be here and looking forward to having an interesting conversation. That intro was very long.
It should be.
But I guess it's one of those things. So I'm excited to be out here sitting with you and having a conversation.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I've been trying to get you. You're a very busy man, and I've been trying to get you because I believe that you've made a massive contribution to Zambia. Yeah. In terms of perception, mindset, and things like that. Tell us about your family background. Where do you come from? Where were you born? Where did you grow up from? School and things like that.
Well, that's an interesting one. Background. I was born. I'm a Chilean youngster. So,
really?
Yeah. Just right next in the hood out here. I was
Awesome.
born in Chilenge. And practically both my parents are late. My parents had 7 kids, and we're just the 2 of us. 5 are late. So grew up in the dusty streets of the beautiful Chilenge, and I guess that's where the birthing and the starting of everything started from. For what I do, if you see my story about business and all I do, I started practically everything. That's my heart, that's my area. So yeah, so that's practically a bit about my background. So I have a brother, Nicholas. So we're just the 2 of us now.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Out of 7. So my parents had 7 kids.
Mm-hmm.
2 surviving, myself and my
I have parents still alive.
No, they're late. Not my
Okay.
parents. My parents died when I was very young, so I know what it's like. I know the struggle, you know. So my parents died when I was very young, but I wouldn't have had it any other way, you know. God has all His plans and His designs and strategies on what really happens. And it's funny. I've been thinking a lot about that. Sometimes it's a bitter pill because. If my parents were alive, maybe I wouldn't have been the person that I am today.
Yeah.
But I still want to have him,
They
around.
died at what age? When you were...
I must have I think I was about 13.
So what took you to school?
Ooh, that's another conversation. It's funny. I tell people. I was blessed for God to bring the right people.
Yeah.
A second set of parents. They also passed on.
Yeah.
I think I remember I at a certain stage of my life I paid my way to go to school. So
Wow.
I actually started off working for someone. So I would work and then still go to school at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was staying at my, I started staying in a 1-room space somewhere out in Chilenge. And I remember those days my friends are going for break and I would rush to go and check on my little business, and everything that I was doing. So I had to pay my way out to school, until I finished secondary school. And then I went on to do college as well. So it was an interesting journey. That's what I say. The losing of my parents shaped me, and also the losing of my second set of parents also shaped me.
Yeah.
So I knew to hustle at a tender. I had no choice but to.
You became responsible.
Yeah, at a tender age. So moments like those will either make you or break you.
Yeah.
So it's practically what you decide to do with those, with what life throws at you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where did you do your high school from?
I went to a private school called Majesty High School.
Okay.
Yeah, was in Challenge in Kablonga, so that's where I did my high school, and that's where I finished off from. And then, yeah, that's practically, and then I went to Victory University College. I did theology, but
Is that a Zambian college?
yeah, yes it is. Yeah, I did theology, and then I went on to do design and IT.
Interesting.
Yes.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
So what was your ambition when you were growing up? What did you want to become?
I actually wanted to be a journalist. Yeah, so I wanted to be a journalist, and then God interrupted my plans. I jacked my plans, and I am glad He did. So, I mean, I really wanted to be a journalist. I wanted to, do stuff with TV, media, and all of those things.
Yeah.
That would have been the direction I would have taken.
Yeah.
But I am glad to be where I'm at.
Okay.
Yeah.
So after you finished your school, what happened? You started working, or what happened during that period? I mean, after you finished university.
I actually started running my own business. In fact, the only time I worked was when I was in secondary school.
Really?
Yeah. So I would go to work and then go to school because I needed to raise money for my tuition and my rent as well, because I was staying all by myself when I was in secondary school.
Wow.
So after I finished my secondary school, in fact, while I was in secondary school, I started up my own business. So I started business in secondary school.
Wow.
So I had to work all my way up. I've never practically had a job, or hired by anybody else to really work. So I built what I've done the last, from secondary school, I transitioned into building up my own little tiny business. And I like to tell people, I said, I started my business in Chifundo Market in Challenge. I tell people and say, even the name of the market puts me at a disadvantage. Chifundo Market.
Yeah.
But that's where my sweat and my tears started off from. I started my business from there, a little tiny place, And that's why I like to say, don't despise the days of humble beginnings, because you start from somewhere, and I was renting a room just in Challenge. And thank God my school was within the area, so everything that I needed to do was within that space, and I built everything around that place. So I think from secondary school, straight on business was on my heart.
When you say secondary school, I should probably think maybe you were 17, 16, somewhere there.
I think so, somewhere there. yeah.
Where did you get this idea of you getting into business for survival? Was it a mindset you got from somewhere? Did someone talk you into it, or were you just pushed by circumstances to say, since this is the only way I can make money to sponsor myself, let me just get into business?
I say for me it was circumstances.
Okay.
I had to make it happen because I wanted a life for myself. So, and in those days, I'll be very honest with you. This is why I like to tell a lot of young people that if you have mentors, you have coaches, you are blessed.
Yeah.
Some of us didn't have any of that stuff.
Yeah.
It was practically grace.
Yeah.
It's like circumstances just, and I like to say, coincidence is God's way of remaining anonymous.
Yeah.
And I think there was a lot of things that seemed like a coincidence, but God was just orchestrating what my life should look like 10 years, 20 years from that space. So for me, circumstances dragged me there, and I am happy that I mean, look at losing my parents. It was just practically circumstances. So it's been circumstances, everything happening. And sometimes we feel like these things happen by accident, but there's a hand of God at play, because I mean, He's a master, planner. He works our lives better. So for me, I think circumstances, and I landed in a beautiful place because of those circumstances.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Your first business was when you were in high school.
Yeah.
What business was it? Were you selling something?
Yes, I was. I had a gift shop, so I used to sell perfumes and cards. So it was just a little shop in Chifundo Market that's sold little perfumes and all of those things. And the other thing I actually didn't say is when my father died first, and then my mom, she was left all by herself. My mom used to go to Soweto Market those days and bring vegetables you know, and she'd send me and my brothers to go in knock on doors.
Yeah,
So I think business started at that point for me,
Yeah.
you know, because she would make fritos, she would send us to go and sell in Woodlands, Umayad. You know, would knock at every gate and
Yeah.
sell, you know, vegetables, and then my mom passed on as well, you know, so I had to find a way to really get hold of what I needed to do for that. So that's how I think I when I started my own business, I was passionate about gifts, you know, so I would do a gift show about sell perfumes, little just beautiful things.
And that managed to sponsor your school and you pay your rent and food and things like that.
Yes, it did.
Great.
Yeah, it did.
You are currently the CEO of Icon Management Solutions.
Yes, sir.
And the founder.
Yes, sir.
Tell us about that. What is Icon all about?
Amazingly, I've been a people person. I love people. I love to add value to people. You know, and when I decided to get into corporate training, Icon Management is basically a company I started in, I think, 10 years ago.
Okay.
I started 10 years ago. Time flies, you know, and I think my interest was to help develop people. I think one of the things I did, I don't know whether it was also by accident or anything like that. The thing I did was I read a lot when I was young.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I mean, I love to read books, and I love to read relationship books, you know, and I was passionate because of my background. I wanted healthy and better relationships.
Yeah.
So I read quite a lot of, you know, books and all of those things. And I developed a passion for people, you know, and I started changing my circle of friends.
Yeah.
And that was a transformation for me. I started changing the circle of my friends, and during that time, I found a mentor.
Okay.
You know, and my mentor loved to read. You know, and I started watching what he would do. You know, and I said, well, this is a person I'd like to learn from, and I sat under him. And my passion just to teach people started. So I started up Icon Management Solutions. We do corporate training, customer service, leadership, and management. And we also have a media side where we do brand strategies for business. You know, for businesses, how we help people, you know, to set up their businesses and do what they're supposed to do. You know, so so I'm in the corporate space. So from Chifundo market to the corporate space. It's
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's an interesting story. But what is more interesting about you is for me, you are the pioneer of personal branding.
Yeah.
Or branding in general.
Yeah.
In Zambia. The first time I heard about branding was on TV, Smooth IK.
Yeah, Smooth, yeah.
And it was you.
Yeah.
And I sat down, that time I was in Kalab, Western Province, and I was watching.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, okay, what is this guy talking about? That's the first time I heard about branding.
Yeah.
And I think you are a founding personality in that area. Let's talk about Steady Divine Network.
Steady Divine Network before I started Icon Management Solutions. So
Yeah.
I've been doing Steady Divine Network for, I think, practically close to over 15 years. You know, and when I started Steady Divine Network, I remember going to Small IK at ZNBC, and I actually don't even know what I was doing. I showed up at ZNBC years ago. This is why I appreciate Small IK, because he set a platform for me.
Yeah.
You know, for what I just told him, I'm passionate about this thing.
Yeah.
I want to help people.
Yeah.
You know, then it was called Motivated Generation International. We rebranded to Steady Divine Network because I wanted a brand that I could pass on to my next generation.
Yeah.
So I told him, hey, I'd love to help people. And Smooth like I said, oh, okay, cool. You know, come, let's do a show. We did a show. It was amazing. We did another show. It was amazing.
Yeah.
You know, and the rest is history. I mean, I've been, you know, with Smooth Like now for over 13 years too.
Yeah.
You know, just talking about, you know, people empowerment, developing people, building healthy relationships, helping people to build a personal brand. Because sometimes when we look at branding, we always feel like branding is just for big companies like Coca-Cola. We feel like branding is about businesses, but branding is about us. You know, each one of us is a brand, whether you know it or you don't. The way people look at you, the way people perceive you, you know, when when people say this is how you are, that's branding.
Yeah.
You know, when people say, oh, this is you know what you do, this is what you're like, it's simply a brand, but we don't understand that that's what it is. So each one of us it's like the law of gravity. I like to tell people branding is like the law of gravity. You know, you can say I will jump up, you know, and I will not come down. The law of gravity will definitely defy that. You'll definitely come down. It's the same. Even if you say, oh, I am not a brand, I'm not interested in branding, one way or the other, you are still a brand. So whether you're a good brand or a bad brand,
you're still a brand.
You're still a brand. So when they're looking, I'll give an example. You notice when people are saying, oh, we want something done, and everybody will be racing in their mind, who can do this, who can do. Okay, they say, oh, we want someone to do something who's committed, you know, consistent, hardworking. That's branding. So if you don't have those, you know, skills or characteristics, it's gonna skip you.
That's true.
Because they brand you the opposite of what they are looking for. So the things that you do, the things that you put across, is basically a brand that you design for yourself. Awesome. So I started, iBrand. I started doing the iBrand bootcamp. You know, we go to beautiful places to help people just design and build and need a powerful brand. Because the biggest investment you will ever make is an investment in yourself.
Wow.
A lot of times people feel like, oh, I need to buy a nice house, I need to drive a nice car, I need to live, you know, go to beautiful holidays. But you don't understand that all of those things are things that you have to work around and build, you know. But make an investment in yourself, then you're building your brand intentionally, not by accident.
Awesome. But where did the idea come from? Because, I mean, the language you're speaking right now, we can understand it because times have changed.
Exactly.
You understand? But then, when someone comes on the platform and talks about brand yourself, it was like Greek. You know?
I agree.
Where did you get that concept or idea from?
You know, I'm glad you really are very keen, because I think you really, I think you've seen what most people haven't seen. You see what I'm trying to say? You've seen it at a deeper level. You've seen was it when you're in Calabo or something like that? You saw it at a deeper level when you were studying. When branding was not the sexy thing. You understand? When branding was not the in thing. You saw me talk about branding. I think I'm seeing people frustrated. My vision is helping people, fulfilled lives, empowered nations. If I can see people fulfilled, then I have contributed what I need to do. Every time I saw people very frustrated, until now, if I see people frustrated, if I see people struggle,
it was like a burden.
It's a burden, So it's a strong burden that I had on my heart. I said, I need to do this thing. I need to help people, but I need to find a word that I can take to corporate spaces and they will be able to relate. You see what I'm trying to say? And that's when I started to research. I started to study. So there's a burden first, and then I began to do research. I began to study what branding is, and I still do until now. And by the way, I've done this for over 13 years, and I feel like I've not even started. You know, I feel like it's just fresh. And now my discovery about branding. Now I tell people that branding for me is about how you feel inside.
Wow.
It's because you can wear an expensive suit but still be broken inside. Still have a broken, messed up thing inside of you. So no matter how well you look on the outside, but if your inside is not branded, you know,
that's deep, man.
You know, then your outside is just like entertainment and the show, and people will pick it up. I see when I coach people in corporate spaces, when I sit in interview, you know, I'm doing interviews for companies and businesses. I see the most beautiful CVs. You know, I see people that are highly dressed well.
But they've covered a lot of
things. They've covered a lot of things. You know, deep down the suits, there are issues. You know, deep down, you know, there's a lot of unbranded issues, unresolved issues that have branded them over time.
Can we say that this concept or idea is your calling? Is it your career? Is it your calling? Is it your purpose in life?
Definitely, it is. It is. I mean, I mean, wake me up at midnight, I will do what I do. It is. There's a way I look at people, there's a way I see people. I see things about people they don't see about themselves. You see, it's a lot of things that I look at people, I see how things are done. So for me, it's a critical component of what I do. It's very effortless. You know, I work around it, I do all these things, and I move in very easily.
Awesome. Yeah. Awesome. So, can you say that sometimes our purpose is tied to our burdens?
Definitely. because your purpose is birthed out of your burden.
Awesome.
Here's one thing. I know it's. I'm writing a book on branding. I like one of the chapters in my book. It's called Brand on Purpose.
Wow.
Now, when people hear brand on purpose, and this thing came, it was a divine idea that God put in my heart.
Awesome.
Brand on purpose. When people hear brand on purpose, they think I'm saying be intentional. No, I'm not saying that. I could mean that as well, but I'm saying you can't build a successful brand if it's not hooked and anchored on purpose.
Wow.
So your purpose is the foundation.
Wow.
So as I say, brand on purpose. Anytime you're trying to brand, you know, anytime you're trying to build a brand and there's no purpose, it's like floating.
Yeah.
It's not anchored anywhere.
Yeah.
It's like it's not anchored.
It's not stable.
It's not stable.
Yeah.
This is why you see people go around circles. I'll give you an example. I see a lot of young people that see me on TV. They've seen me on TV for years.
Yeah.
They say, Coach Steady Divine, you know, I want to be like you. I want to be on TV. I want to be on radio. I want to do hook me up.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And I say, why? I want to be known.
Yeah.
No purpose.
Yeah.
When I went to ZNBC to talk to Ike, my burden was dragging me there.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
When I went there, my burden was dragging me to
And that's the reason why I feel that's the reason why we're having this conversation. I was thinking about it today.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm to call you today and say I want to talk to you,
Yeah.
there should be a purpose. Like why?
Exactly. It's
Why
true.
should I give you my audience?
Exactly. Yeah.
And I told you about the real life show.
Yeah.
And you bought into the idea.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, it's cool, let's do this.
Yeah.
So I feel what you're saying is very true.
Yeah.
Everything that you have to do in life, it has to do with the purpose. There has to be something behind
Definitely.
it.
Life is not a real, so you can't just play games with your life. You know what we're living right now is a real life.
Yeah.
You know, so you're not playing games. People feel like, oh, I can play and then I'll live the real life. No, what you're living is a real life.
Yeah.
Your years, your time, and everything. This is why I'm very particular with my time.
Awesome.
You know, I'm very particular with what I invest into my time. I'm very particular with what I do. You know, so it's very key for me that I do what is right.
You are a life coach.
Yeah.
What objectives do you have? What are your objectives as a life coach when you're coaching someone? What are your objectives?
I think one of the things that I think for me it's, if I would tell you what's my biggest obsession right now is to see people live the life they were designed to live. Because none of us is an accident. None of us is a mistake. Everyone that is out here on this planet was designed for something special and something beautiful.
Yeah.
And if I can help people find that thing, and that's the most amazing. This is why I tell people I will not trade. A friend of mine asked me, she asked me, she said, if I offered you, she mentioned some very beautiful figures, if I offered you these figures to trade what you're doing, will you do it? I said, not even a single day. I don't even need to think about it. I'll still do what I do.
Awesome.
It's not easy, but I'll still do it because
Yeah.
that's my assignment. That's what I'm designed to do. So if I can help people find, their purpose and motivate them and equip them to achieve that, I would definitely be the happiest man in my life.
How do you do that? How do you get to help someone discover who they are, what their purpose in life is? What tools do you use?
Well, I think because I've walked this journey, from my background, I've shared with you and my story where I've been, you can tell that I've been through quite a lot of things. I've been prepared for what I'm doing today. So it just didn't start today. I've gone through the process of developing, growing, and building and designing the kind of life that I have today.
Yeah.
So I think for me, one of my programs I have, it's on my table there, it's called the Abraham 365. I designed a plan, a 1-year plan with people. You know, so I like to tell people, I don't do one night stands, I do commitment. If you want me to be your coach, you gotta commit for the long haul, because there's a difference between being committed and interested. Sometimes people are interested, but they're not committed.
Yeah.
So for me, if I'm taking you in, you have to commit the whole 9 yards. So there's no turning back.
Yeah.
The Bible says no man puts his hand on the plow and looks back.
Mm.
When you put your hand to say this is the life I want, and it's not an easy thing.
Yeah,
you know, it's not to design the life.
Yeah.
Do you know that a lot of people know what they need to do with their lives, but they'll never start.
Yeah, that's true.
They'll never. So they'll rather settle, live a mediocre life. I meet so many people. Oh, you inspire me. You inspire me. You inspire me.
Yeah.
Show me the results. Zero.
Yeah. No results.
No results, because people, I think, are infatuated with success.
Wow.
So a lot of people are infatuated with success.
So what criteria do you use to choose your candidates?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
That's a good question. Here's one thing I tell people. I remember I was doing a brand strategy workshop, and everybody was confused in the workshop when I said, I qualify who qualifies to sit under me.
Mm.
Anytime I'm picking a mentee, a protege, a client, I choose my mentees, I choose my clients, because I want to know you are the right fit for me. So even if you have the money, but if our energies don't match, I can't do anything with you, even if you have the money.
Okay.
So the money is good, and I charge very well too. You understand? The money is good,
Yeah.
but I want to make sure that you're the right client for me.
Yeah.
I don't want to pick someone I am not in sync. So I always do a discovery session.
Okay.
For every person I want to coach. And that doesn't mean you're a bad person. It
Yeah.
just means that I am not the right coach for you.
Wow.
And that's a thing about when you live in your purpose, you
Yeah.
know who you are called to. You're not
Awesome.
out there trying to pick everybody.
Yeah.
Or, you know, I see people, oh, you have money, okay, come. No.
Mm.
I want to make sure I am the right coach for you, and I want to make sure you're the right mentee for me, you're the right protege for me, you're the right person that I can bring into my space and help bring out the best inside of you.
Wow.
So if someone is not the right fit, it's the same with businesses as well. And I know my system is different. People say money is money, but for me, I don't work like that.
Yeah.
I want to work with the brand that I'm excited to work with.
Awesome.
You know, I want to work with people that I enjoy doing business with, even if I'm paid, but I want to enjoy doing business with the person I'm working with. So, that's very key for me. That's very key. So I'm very particular, and then because why I do that is because now I realize that I'm a limited resource.
Awesome.
There's only so much of me that can go around.
Yeah.
So I need to be very particular with who I give my energies to and who
Yeah.
I bring in my space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Initially, I used to think coaching was free, man.
That's what a lot of us think. like again, you can't blame them, because a lot of these things are very fresh in our space.
Yeah.
You know, I remember those days when I started off, and this is where growth is very key. When I started off, people would actually feel like they're doing me a favor to come and talk to me about their problems.
Wow.
You see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
You know, oh, after I sent you a message and you didn't respond. You know, like I've been considered that you're going through issues, that you want me to be the one to fix your issues. You see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
You know, in other places, I mean, in the Western world, it's the same for therapy, coaching. It's a lot of money. I mean, Tony Robbins makes over $4 million annually out of coaching.
Wow.
Coaching, and that's not events. That's just coaching. That's how much money he makes. You know, and you know, from just coaching, and he doesn't coach a lot of people. You know, he picks a few, over $4 million, not $4 million kwacha, over $4 million from coaching people.
Wow.
That's how big this industry is, and that's why we need to change the mindset of our people, because I'm investing time.
Yeah.
You go to see a lawyer. No lawyers tell you it's free. You go and see a doctor.
Yeah.
You see, I mean, you go to the gym.
Yeah.
You know, your instructor, your trainer, your coach will charge you. So what makes you think if you come and see a life coach, it's going to be free? There must be something wrong. You understand what I'm trying to say? There must be something wrong. So we have to change the way people think, because everything I'm doing, if you take away 20 or 30 hours of my week, or my month, that's my time, that's my money.
Yeah.
I have an organization to run, I have a business. Who's going to fund it?
Mm.
You know, so if I'm going to sit with people for 30 hours on a weekly basis, I mean, I'm being irresponsible with my time.
So, will it be fit to say the let me not say the rich life, the comfortable life that you have is all that money made out of coaching?
I don't know how to answer that. I don't know how to answer that. Yeah.
Or maybe this is what I do full time.
Wow. This is what I do full time. This is what I've done. I've not had a job, I think, the last, like going to work. Yeah. This is a job. You know? Yeah. Actually, for me, I don't call it a job. I'm doing purpose. Yeah. And my purpose is making sure it's financing everything that I need.
Awesome.
You understand? You know, but also my worry all the times, I'm always particular, because that's also one thing I teach people. Mm-hmm. The most comfortable thing is the peace I have.
Awesome.
It's not money, it's not anything.
It's the fulfillment.
It's a fulfillment that I have. You know, after I've done an assignment, after I have put in my best, and that's one thing we need to teach our young people, because they don't understand. Because a lot of young people are chasing the paper out there. Yeah. You know, I don't chase money. Awesome. You know, I don't chase money. I love what I do, and God has blessed me with good clients. You know, that pay what I pay, but I don't chase money. You won't see me put relationships over money. So for me, it's relationships here, money comes out here.
Awesome.
So this is why I always investigate a client or a person that I'm going to coach to know that I'm doing what I need to do. Yeah.
Do you have many of you in Zambia, life coaches?
Well, I think now people are coming up. I think there's been a lot of trainings that are going on to do with being a life coach, and it's not many. And Zambia needs it. In fact, here's my statement, and I make this statement, and I've made it on national TV with apologies. What Zambia needs is more life coaches.
I want to be a life coach, man.
yeah. So a lot of Zambia needs life coaches. I like to say, if you give Zambia, if IMF gave all the money they have in their coffers to Zambia to change this country, we can't change it.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not a money problem.
Yeah, it's a mindset problem.
It's a mindset problem. Yeah. So a lot of us need to fix what is up here. Awesome. You know, it's the same. There's certain people. Have you noticed people win Kwachamania today? A few days
they're broke.
They're broke. So it's not a problem with money. It's a problem with the way they think.
Yeah.
You know. So it's all those things that we need to do.
There's your life coach and the mentor. What's the difference between life coach and the mentor?
I think each one of those things facilitates its different roles.
Okay.
Mentorship is more a hands-on kind of a relationship. You know, mentorship is sitting under me. Mentorship is tougher. Mentorship is learning through the failures and the wisdom of another person. You know, that's what mentorship is. Coaching could be like I do executive coaching. So there's certain people I coach. There's certain place I can go deeper with them that I can go with my mentees. Yeah. You understand? So I can only go so far with someone, you know, at a certain space. So for me, that's a key thing that I do with everything that I am into. So coaching and mentorship. Coaching is facilitating someone. I could be coaching you to, you know, maybe how to handle these cameras. Yeah. You know, and all those things. The other, you know, mentorship is hands-on. You know, mentorship is like the most delicate relationship between a mentor and a mentee, because mentorship goes deeper. Mentorship brings up the issues that are hidden, things that are deep inside. Yeah. I remember when I was with my mentor, I actually prayed to love that man because that man was tough. You know, my mentor was very, very, very tough. You know, it was not an easy relationship. To be my mentor, it's not a sexy thing as people make it up.
Yeah.
You know, it takes quite a lot of things. You have to lay down your ego. You have to lay down your pride.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, when I went to my mentor, I dropped down everything I was doing. I said, I just want to be a student. I just want to learn. You know, I just dropped down everything. I just want to learn. I didn't go there to show myself like I'm brilliant, I'm intelligent.
Yeah.
I humbled myself because I wanted his wisdom. You know, and that's what happened. You know, I sat, I was learning. It was difficult. It was a tough journey, but it's something that I did.
I've seen you a couple of times, you know, going live on Facebook, other radio stations, talking about relationships, dating, marriage.
Yeah.
What inspired you to get into that? Is it part of the mentorship programs or the life coach programs that you do, or that's something else?
Well, I think it's part of my brand, the Steady Divine Network. We have, in fact, now actually we just started a new brand. It's called Before I Do Coaching. Okay. Because you see, the rate at which we're having divorces is shocking.
Yes.
You know, and I think a lot of people are more excited about weddings than they are about marriage and the process of growing and developing.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of excitement of people getting married. You know, I just want to get married. It's like a fashion statement. Zimia neighbor, you know what I'm trying to say? Oh, I want to get married. I want to have a kitchen party. I want to do chilanga malilo. But people don't have what it takes to sustain a marriage.
Good.
You know, the Bible says through wisdom is a house built. Yeah. You know, a home is not built by sex, money, or anything. Of course, those things are part of the plan. Yeah. But there's a lot more that sustains that. So I'm passionate about relationships, not just relationships, but healthy relationships. Yeah. I want to see people be happy, because look, if your relationships are not right, they will mess up everything you're doing.
Yeah, that's true.
If your relationships are crazy, they will mess up your calling, your purpose, and everything that you're doing. Yeah. A lot of successful people have been brought down by bad relationships and bad relationship choices. Yeah. So that's why I'm very passionate about it. You know? And I believe what I do with relationships is a gift, you know, that God has put on my life. Practically everything I'm doing, you know, it's just a gift, you know, that God has put on my life for what I do. I have training in most of what I do, but I don't like to talk about the training, because for me it's beyond that, because there's so many people that are highly trained than me, but can't do what I do. So that's why for me, I'm very humble that God picked a guy like me, so I'm going to use you as a vessel to help people build relationships. So I do quite a lot of that in that space, and I'm passionate about, you know, I like to say I'm also a relationship coach and a life coaching thing there, just to help people understand relationships and navigate relationships. Because if you can have healthy relationships, your career will be excellent, your business will be great. You know, I think I read an article that says a lot of successful people that you see, one of the reasons why they're successful is because they married the right person.
Awesome.
So if you marry the wrong one, you're in trouble.
It's like a coaching session right now.
I'm going to invoice you. I'm going to give you an invoice.
You're coaching the interviewer, you're coaching the camera guys.
Yeah, so it's awesome. And I think we take it for granted.
Yeah.
You know, we take it for granted, but hey, you can't risk your life, you know. And this is why personal development is very key. You know, you won't see the things I'm telling you if you're not excited about personal growth. And you don't have a standard of what you want. You don't want a certain kind of a life. You've not drafted, this is a life I want. Yeah. This is the thing that I desire. So it's one of those things.
What's your marketing strategy? What's your approach to marketing? How did you manage to market yourself on that national level and almost everyone knows you?
I think motives are very key. I think for me, my key thing was that I had good intentions. My heart was right.
Good.
I was not going to look for things. Yeah. I was not going to ask for things. I was going.
Offering things.
I was offering things. I'm a marketing person. I'm a creative person as well. You know, I like to read Gary Vee's posts. There's a book. He says jab jab. You know.
I know Gary Vee.
Yeah. So you know. So he says, you give before you ask.
Awesome.
So for me, my burden and my passion was, I think, the easiest way to market what I was doing. So by the time I realized, I mean, I go to any places, you know, in different parts, there's somebody who knows me. It was not even planned that I want to be known.
Yeah.
All I wanted to do was to help people.
Great.
You know, and when I was helping people, people got to know about me and what I do. You know.
You simply had the right motive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, my heart was right.
Great. I understand that having all these businesses around you, companies around you, involves a team. How did you build your team?
Well, I think one thing that helps me is because I always have people I coach on a yearly basis.
Yeah.
So I think that becomes a team that anchors me each and every year. But again, when you talk about building a team, it's also another conversation, because one of the things I admire my friends in the Western world is that they have more consistent teams than we have here. I think because people here, it's difficult to build a long-term team because people are always in a hurry.
Yeah.
You know, people are always looking for something that glitters. So if something glitters next door, they will go to the next place. But because I have a routine lifestyle where I coach people on a yearly basis, I think those become my team each and every time. But I have an inner circle that I work with. It's not a bigger circle.
Yeah.
It's an inner circle of people that I work with that help me do what I do.
Which makes you a leader, right?
Yeah.
What makes a good leader?
Character.
Correct.
Yeah, I think you need to have good character. And also, my leadership mentor, Dr. John C. Maxwell, says leadership is simply influence. The ability to influence people.
Great.
Anybody that thinks is leading and no one is following is simply taking a walk.
I've never heard that before, man.
Yeah, it's John Maxwell's quote.
Great.
Yeah.
What are some of the biggest mistakes you've made in life that you wish you could have avoided?
I don't know whether I wish I would have avoided. I made a lot of stupid relationship decisions. That's why I tell people, that's why I'm your coach, because I've made stupid relationship decisions in my life I wouldn't have made. But again, from the bruises and the pain, I became a better man.
Good.
I made a lot of crazy relationship decisions in my life. And I look back and I said, wow. But I thank God for me that my mistakes in relationship areas is my wisdom. That's why I got this wisdom. I made mistakes in business, and lost out quite a lot.
Yeah.
But it's part of the journey.
Yeah.
And also you must understand that some of us didn't have mentors and people to guide us. I was talking to one of my mentees 3 days ago. She came to me, she was very excited about this business deal. And I said to her, I said, something fishy. So I could tell her something fishy because I've seen fishy things before.
You've seen it before.
Relationships, business, friendships.
Yeah.
So I have some wisdom in that space to be able to say, hey, I've messed up, I've made these mistakes. So it's easier for me to be able to tell someone and say, hey, this is what I need to do, this is what I need to work around, and this is how I can help you to make these things and do stuff differently.
Wow. Coach said, you've been displaying, just releasing wisdom, man. Just releasing, and you are an embodiment of wisdom.
Thank you so
I
much.
guess it's because of experience and reading, like you say. On a lighter note, how's your daily routine like?
I was laughing at myself yesterday.
Yeah.
Because yesterday was a holiday and I didn't realize it was a holiday. And I dressed up and I came downstairs to my office to work.
Yeah.
And the lady who works with me, she says, boss, today is a holiday. And I said, who told you it's a holiday? Who gave you that?
I saw you post that.
Yes, I did put it on. So it's, I think my daily routine is work. I work a lot. What I do has just become my lifestyle.
What time do you wake up?
6.
Okay.
But I sleep very late because I have clients in different time zones.
Okay.
So I go to bed very late because I need to have sessions with clients in different parts of the world.
Great.
So thank God to technology, so sometimes I go to bed maybe 2, 3, so I could be able to service clients that live in a different time zone from mine.
Great.
So I change a lot of those time zones. So
that's the reason why we chat even at 22, 23.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
And that's a habit I need to control, because sometimes people, are sleeping and I want to, I feel like it's afternoon, but it's midnight. So when you become just really fully addicted to, I'd like to say the day I go to bed around 21, I was in bed with 10.
It doesn't know you like that.
Exactly, it doesn't know me from that angle. So
Great.
yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What are your driving forces in life?
What drives me?
Yeah.
Purpose. Yeah, my assignment.
Yeah.
I think that's what really drives me.
Yeah.
I think my assignment, my purpose, that's what really drives me.
Great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I know you've done a lot of things nation-wise, individually,
Yeah.
on a personal level, in terms of business. But what are some of the biggest accomplishments that you are most proud of? When you look at them, you go like, yeah, did that.
That's the thing about being passionate. Sometimes you don't stop by and count. I think for me, when I see people that I've coached and mentored, I see them go higher.
Yeah.
I think a couple of months ago, I read a guy who wrote to me. He says, "Hey, one day I remember I met you at East Park. I was broken, fired.
Yeah.
I didn't have anything, and you
Yeah.
just spoke with me for a few minutes,
Yeah.
and now I built a successful business."
Wow.
Out of just for me, that's success.
Yeah.
Success is not what you drive, where you live, what you have. Success is seeing people become who they were designed to be. So when I see that, for me, I think that's key. I have an 11-year-old son, and I see my son step in my office and say, "Hey, I want to start a mentorship program for young kids. So tell your friends that I've got kids to come over so I can mentor." That's success, man.
Yeah.
To see my son take after the shape that I am. That's bigger success, because we create, our generation has got a messed up kind of way of success. To listen to my son, wanting to do mentorship for other people.
Yeah.
That's like when I see that, for me,
Yeah.
that's my key thing, because I like to say this thing: you teach what you know, you reproduce who you are.
Wow.
It's possible for me to be teaching.
Yeah.
I can teach anything. Anybody can teach. This is why these days is anybody. I can teach.
You just read and then
and teach people.
Yeah.
But you only reproduce who you are.
Wow.
That's
powerful.
That's like my bigger thing for me.
Great.
So for me, that's success.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Those are the biggest accomplishments I have, to see what I invest in become. So that's key. Yeah.
I know you've talked about making a lot of mistakes,
Yeah.
and then you've also done great things. You've seen people improve, lives change. What is the most important thing you've learned in life so far? The most important thing?
Personal development.
Personal development.
Yeah. I'm grateful to people that taught me to read. Investing in myself.
Great.
Because in branding, I like to say you are your number one asset.
Wow.
You are your biggest investment.
Yeah.
Take care of yourself, because you are that biggest brand. So I think for me, that's what I would say.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. And these funny questions.
Bring them on.
Waiting up interview. These quick questions that need quick answers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if we could turn back the time and you are 18, what could you say to the 18-year-old steady divine?
Get a mentor.
Get a mentor.
And read. Yeah.
Great. If you could be anything or anyone in life for one day, what would you love to be? Who is that person and why?
Steady.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing. I know it's a quick answer. Let me tell you something. There's something that I've discovered that is far beyond money and success.
Yeah.
Is what I have found.
Yeah.
I like to say, and you're the first person I'm sharing this with.
Great.
The biggest blessing that God has given me
Mm.
is to give me a life that is more powerful and more important before the money and the millions.
Wow.
So the person that I have become
Mm.
is like my biggest treasure.
Wow.
It's not, it's not attached to external things.
Mm.
Like I want to be me. I want to be that person, and I actually want to share that with other people.
Yeah. You want to replicate yourself.
Exactly. It says, man, it's, and this is why money can move and change me.
Yeah.
Because God has given me something bigger and beyond
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
The fulfillment I have, you can't go in a shop and buy it. So I would rather be me because I have the best, you know. And it's not an issue of pride. I'm inspired by so many people.
Yeah.
I'm inspired by so many people, but I found something most people don't find at an age like mine.
Great.
I have found something beautiful. I have found something that, like I go to bed and I sleep, and it's beautiful, genuine sleep.
Wow.
I don't need anything to accessorize myself. I see a lot of young people trying to prove points, you know, show the world I got this thing, you know, I am happening, I got an excellent job, I've got an excellent business. But everything I have, I brag about steady because of the person that I become.
Good.
That's what we need to teach our young people.
Yes.
Because that is very key. This is why mentorship is very key.
Yes.
I know you wanted a short answer, but hey,
Thank
I
you.
talk for a living.
If you could have dinner with 3 people, dead or alive, who would they be and why?
My late parents.
Yeah.
If I had an opportunity, I would want to sit on a table,
Yeah.
and I think they would be amazed to see the person that I've become.
Yeah.
And of course, my future wife.
So now I'm discovering that you're not married.
Yeah. Wow. I think those would be the key things.
Great.
Yeah. I think for me those would be the key things. Unless I've forgotten anybody, I have to think about. But I think those, like my late parents, I think I would want to sit on the table and really just do dinner with them. I wish I had that opportunity, but I don't have that opportunity. But I know one day I'll sit on the table with my future wife, so it's a beautiful thing.
I won't go into details. Now you mentioned about the people who inspire you.
Yeah.
Would you love to share some of them, the people that have been an inspiration to you?
Man, I have quite a lot of things. Dr. John C. Maxwell.
Yeah.
He's taught me leadership. You know, Dr. John C. Maxwell, he's a man that has really taught me leadership.
Yeah.
My covenant brother, he lives in the United Kingdom.
Yeah.
Charles, that's like, you know, one phenomenal journeyman.
Great.
And then Dr. Nevis Mumba.
Awesome.
Yeah, so, I mean, that man gave me wings when I didn't have wings.
Great.
When I was in Chifundo Market, I listened to his sermons.
His sermons, yeah.
I mean, the ego advantage, you know, soar like an eagle.
Yeah.
And that's where that, you know, thing started off from, and here we are.
Awesome.
Yeah, so those are just a few that I would mention.
Great.
Yeah.
As we wind up the interview, I know I've spoken a lot for quite some time, and you've released a lot of wisdom. But I want you to highlight certain things that has made you exceptional and outstanding. I know we have a number of coaches around, but you're outstanding. You know, you're exceptional. But what are some of the things that have distinguished you from others? What do you know that others don't know? What do you do that others don't do?
I'm just consistent.
Consistency.
I mean, look, talk to people that know me from 10 years ago. They'll tell you this guy has been doing this stuff for over 10 years.
Great.
I've stayed at my game. You know, I build with consistency. I'm very consistent with what I do. I invest a lot of time to design and to build. I'm not one who starts things and then jump out, start things and jump out. So I'm flexible, but I'm very consistent. You know, so it means I've stayed at my game for a long time, you know, and I've built the experience, you know, and that's why I've built a brand, I've designed a brand, you know, over the years, because brand building is about consistency. You know, when you're consistent, people respect you. When you're consistent, people want to do business with you. When you're consistent, people want to do stuff, with you. And I'm extremely determined. I'm extremely passionate about what I do. So I put in quite a lot of things. I do so much with everything that goes on in my life. But I think the key thing is just stay at your game. You know, stay at your game. And I think I value what I do. This is why people say, hey, I want to work with Coach Steady, because you're getting someone who's the real deal. You know, I'm very authentic. You know, consistently authentic. So those are the key things that I do. Those are the things that I work around. You know, because I believe that's what really distinguishes me.
So, what are your final words, last words, advice to the viewers out there, people who aspire to become Coach Steady Divine?
It's gonna be tough.
Awesome.
You have to be willing to pay the price.
Great.
We don't just like my brother Galamkan says, we don't just become. You have to go through the process, and that's where the bigger challenge is, because people don't want to go through
the process.
Everybody wants the lights. Everybody wants when you go out, hey, Steady Divine, hey, you know what I'm trying to say, but they don't know that there's gonna be nights you will cry, there's gonna be tears, you know, because it'll be unfair to tell people that this is an easy journey. I've cried, I've struggled, you know, I've had no food, you know, I've had more month than I have money. You know, so people need to know, because sometimes people just look at what is shiny, they don't. And
that's the reason why there's this show now.
Exactly, yeah, you know, so, you know, having conversations and talking, I think for me, it brings out quite a lot of things.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Coach Steady, I want to appreciate this opportunity to invite us in your house. And to have a chat with you.
It's been wonderful. It's a joy to speak with you. It's been excellent questions. Like I said, these questions are very interesting.
Thank you.
And it's been beautiful having a conversation with you.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir.
Awesome. It's been wonderful.
Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. That was Coach Steady Divine, entrepreneur, TV personality, radio personality, you know, life coach, mentor. I've learned a lot myself, and I believe that you have learned a lot. Your life can never be the same again. Keep watching the Real Life Show. My name is Jonathan. Stay safe. See you again next time, and God bless you.